Multiple safes broken into, drawers ripped open, closets ransacked, boxes.
What the feds just uncovered in Floyd Mayweather's house is terrifying. They're going after Floyd Mayweather's bag. Remember the brother that walked around with $100 million check in his bag, said he ain't even got to cash it? Well, they on his line.
I think it got to right now because the money gone. So the money's really gone.
In a stunning development, reports claim that the FBI has exposed an alleged $420 million scheme connected to Floyd "Money" Mayweather, according to the information circulating. Federal agents carried out a raid at his Las Vegas residence, where they reportedly uncovered signs pointing to large-scale financial misconduct, including questionable investment activity and offshore accounts raising serious concerns. These findings have shaken the core of the boxing icon's high-profile lifestyle and financial reputation. What pushed the story into the spotlight even further was a reaction from ESPN personality Stephen A. Smith, whose intense and unfiltered response quickly resonated with viewers and reflected the strong public reaction surrounding the situation.
I share a couple toys. They call this the $1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Well, we are on ESPN. These are sports cars. It's a sports network. This car costs $3.2 million. This Bugatti right here costs $1.6 million. You ain't seen these toys?
I haven't seen these?
No.
What? Floyd, this is 7 cars, man. Silver, platinum, Miami, black LA, white Vegas.
Yeah, in New York, I got my drivers.
Federal authorities carried out a sudden operation at Mayweather's luxurious Las Vegas estate, valued in the millions soon after. Details began to surface suggesting the search was connected to a larger probe focused on an intricate financial network. Investigators are reportedly examining the use of shell corporations, digital currency transactions used to conceal funds, and fraudulent investment opportunities believed to be associated with individuals close to Mayweather.
Hey, what's up everybody? So check it out, this morning I was walking through Beverly Hills and I passed by Floyd Mayweather's $30 million mansion. It's over 15,000 square feet with 6 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, resort-style backyard.
Sources familiar with the situation claim that investigators collected a wide range of materials, including numerous digital devices, detailed financial paperwork, records linked to overseas banking, and even coded accounting documents. The funds being examined are believed to reach approximately $420 million, all reportedly connected to potential financial misconduct.
To my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
For years, Mayweather has openly showcased his money team image, complete with private jets, luxury cars like Bugattis, expensive jewelry, and large reserves of cash. However, investigators are now questioning whether some of that fortune may have originated from or be maintained through unlawful activity. Reports indicate that certain records point to the possibility that Mayweather either directly participated in questionable investment ventures or was used as a public figure to promote schemes that ended up scamming thousands of individuals, especially in international markets.
How much is that?
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. 18 life.
That happy birthday, champ.
That's how we doing.
That is sick, dude.
But you gotta show him what he say, man.
Money green.
No,
Hold on. This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd Money Mayweather. 101 piece. That's
One of one.
Money team.
Can we see it on him?
Yes, sir.
That one of one.
$1.8 million.
It's a one of one. I love that.
Stephen A. Smith has personally observed the extravagant way Floyd Mayweather lives. From his upscale residence to his collection of high-end vehicles and use of private air travel through these experiences, Smith has become very familiar with the scale of Mayweather's financial achievements. Having witnessed the results of his dedication and career success, he has gained a clear view of the wealth Mayweather has accumulated. This first-hand exposure allows Smith to offer an informed perspective on how the boxing star has handled his business ventures and managed his fortune.
Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much, and literally walked in the ring and said, I'm going to embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
What makes Stephen A. Smith's strong reaction even more significant is his personal experience visiting Floyd Mayweather's residence. In past interviews and podcast appearances, Smith has spoken about the property as a powerful symbol of achievement, highlighting it as proof of what can be accomplished through skill, discipline, and smart self-promotion.
Why? Talk to me about why you make the decision to drive different colored cars in respective cities.
Spoiled brat.
Oh, just being a brat?
Just being a brat.
The 7 cars that you showed me are in excess of $15 to $20 million.
Let me see what's the number. We go 3-1.
And you don't drive them.
It's close to 15 million. You're right. It's close to 15 million.
After retiring from professional boxing, Mayweather shifted into a new chapter of his career centered around exhibition bouts rather than competing to build his legacy. These appearances appeared to be driven largely by financial incentives. His matchup with Logan Paul stands out as a clear example of this approach. Stephen A. Smith did not hold back in his criticism, arguing that the fight offered little in terms of true competition. With Logan Paul being a social media personality with limited boxing experience, the matchup didn't present a serious test. For an athlete who once dominated the sport at the highest level, stepping into that kind of event came across more as a pursuit of profit than a display of elite greatness.
As if not the greatest boxer in history, he's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago, and for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor, not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
I just believe.
During an appearance on the Pivot podcast, Floyd Mayweather was asked about Logan Paul's claims regarding unpaid earnings. In response, he appeared to sidestep the concern rather than address it directly. He told the host that he had a positive view of YouTube and explained that the payment hadn't been denied, but was simply taking time to process. According to him, delays like that are normal when it comes to large sums of money. Despite this explanation, his answer came across as somewhat indirect, as he seemed to minimize the situation by presenting it as a routine holdup instead of addressing the allegation more clearly.
Logan Paul, he said you owe him some bread. How you feel about someone making those type of accusations?
That comes with the territory.
Right.
And you got to realize, when you used to getting, to them, that's real money. And I like YouTube because I don't mind getting a YouTube check.
Shit, we getting a YouTube check.
Right.
This is going to be a big YouTube check.
Yeah, so, the money is not coming fast enough. That's why when they say money on the back end, as far as pay-per-view, it take a while, And he shouldn't trip. If he feel like he done great numbers and we done record-breaking numbers, then I understand. Nothing comes right away. Just like I'm still collecting checks from fights 7 or 8 years ago. I'm still collecting checks. Why? Because I made smart moves and I'm my own boss. So they hate when the tables turn.
Right.
Look how many years they've been owing us money. But we don't never trip. So now when the tables turn, they say, oh, you owe us something. Be happy with the biggest payday you ever got in your life.
New information has raised questions about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s statements regarding a supposed $42 million investment involving 62 rental apartment units in Upper Manhattan, although Mayweather has publicly claimed, both in interviews and on social media, that he fully owns these properties. Reports are now challenging that narrative. In one Instagram video, he pointed out multiple buildings and declared that they were entirely his, emphasizing that he had no partners involved. However, a review of official property records cited by Business Insider suggests that the ownership of those buildings has not changed.
Guess what? You can do the same.
Now we're trying to figure out what happened, right, with Business Insider. So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before. I'm trying to understand what happened with this, but I know there's a story that's circulating, so just putting it out there. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm trying to understand as a real estate person myself what exactly he is communicating when he's saying that he owns this, because they're trying to make it seem like he doesn't, but what it seems like is that he owns shares of these buildings.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. recently responded to speculation claiming that his reported $42 million real estate deal had caused financial difficulties, that he pushed back against those rumors, insisting that he personally purchased 62 properties in Manhattan without any outside involvement. According to him, the investment was made entirely with his own funds, with no partners or additional backers involved.
Yes, Floyd Mayweather has reportedly acquired 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan, spending approximately $402 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, "Growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion rather than full ownership of all 62 buildings outright. In summary, Floyd Mayweather has publicly claimed to purchase 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan for $402 million, aiming to enhance affordable housing in the area. While these claims have been widely reported, the exact details and confirmation of ownership are still subject to verification. So even ChatGPT is saying, like, that's not official. Whether Mayweather is saying it or not, ChatGPT is saying it's not official. That deal has not gone through.
Records examined by Business Insider show that the ownership of these Manhattan properties has not changed, implying that Mayweather may have only held a partial stake with potential options to expand later. This inconsistency has sparked doubts about the accuracy of his public statements and whether he may have been misinformed or is choosing not to disclose all details of the transaction. Recognized as the highest-paid boxer in history, Mayweather built enormous wealth through his undefeated career and skillful self-marketing. Following his retirement in 2017, he maintained a luxurious lifestyle, investing in upscale real estate and high-end items. Yet reports indicate that he encountered serious financial pressures, including a $22.2 million tax debt from 2015 owed to the IRS. These monetary challenges are believed to have been a major factor behind his decision to return to the ring for lucrative exhibition fights.
Floyd Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
Stephen A. Smith has repeatedly expressed his concerns about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s exhibition fights after retiring from professional boxing. While he considered the matchup with Conor McGregor reasonable, given McGregor's background in combat sports, Smith has been critical of later exhibitions against opponents with far less experience. He emphasized that taking such fights primarily for financial gain could undermine the legacy Mayweather worked so hard to build.
The third having any real kind of boxing background. I did not see the fight, although I heard he lost every round and Floyd Money Mayweather was whipping him pretty good. I was not there. I did not see it. I do not know. Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, Everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
In an open interview, Smith confronted Mayweather about his priorities, asking if he placed more importance on his legacy or on earning money. Mayweather's answers, which frequently emphasized his skills in business and generating income, gave Smith and others the impression that his focus had shifted away from protecting his boxing reputation and toward expanding his wealth.
You made money. You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
Well, we ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses. I don't want my kids to have to answer to nobody. So I will take the long road. I will take the bumps and the bruises for them, but for my loved ones.
But Fear, it's important to point this out about you. You're not just that way when it comes to your family and your children. You're that way with professional athletes. I know NBA players that have relationships with you. Professional football players that have relationships with you, etc. And the same thing that you just said that you preach to your children and your family, you've been preaching to them. That seems to be a personal mission of yours. Why?
It's about giving back. You know, I don't have to go on record and talk about the things that I do. I don't have to go on record.
Adding fuel to the debate, former UFC fighter and commentator Chael Sonnen shared a surprising perspective. He suggested that the Mayweather versus McGregor fight wasn't as profitable as it seemed. Sonnen claimed that a number of the empty seats were filled with individuals dressed to give the impression of a sold-out crowd. Having been on site to cover the event himself, he criticized the illusion that Mayweather's public relations team had created.
No, Floyd's not going to do MMA, but he is going to box again. He's enjoying this attention. It's been very smart what he did. I think it surprised him. I think he was just going out to have a little bit of fun. I don't think he realized he could get 4 and 5 weeks of headlines out of this, but he does need to box again, for sure. I mean, you call it breaking news, but I will tell you unequivocally right now, Floyd Mayweather does and is planning to box one more time.
And the motivation behind getting into a ring again to box, when he said he's retired, why? Why do it?
Floyd's broke. You got to understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
So anyone, Floyd's made $1 billion. Floyd has gotten $300 million for Pacquiao, $300 million for McGregor. That might be true, but that money does not exist anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Mike Tyson, he did real well too. Evander Holyfield, again, it's not what you made. And don't forget, boxing and MMA math, whatever that number is, you get 30% of. So 30% of $1 billion, he still did really well, but not when you're spending money like that. I mean, that's just the way it works. We've seen a progression of these guys, one after the next, that all end up the same way. And that's broke, and they're just not smart with their money. And, I mean, that's all it comes down to. I'm not even trying to bag on Floyd. Look, he's just not a very bright guy. He's surrounded with even less bright guys. This is the way it works when you're a boxer and you go spend that kind of money. If you ever buy things that cost money to own, you're going to be broke.
During an interview with Stephen A. Smith, Mayweather was asked whether his priority was his legacy or his earnings, known for his money persona. He confirmed that he had earned over $800 million throughout his career, but stressed that accumulating wealth has consistently been his primary focus.
I've already, in the sport of boxing, I've already made somewhere upwards of $800 million.
You made money. You're gonna make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is, I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
Well, we ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses.
What's your take on Floyd Mayweather's exhibition fights? Do they add to his legacy or take away from it? Is focusing on money over real competition acceptable for a retired champion? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.